I never forgive my dad for what he done. To me, my mum, my brother, my sisters. I'm 16 now, but up until I was about 14, I saw things that I've never told anyone before. They were disgusting. Some nights I'd see my mum get a beating so bad that my dad couldn't beat her no more. So he'd beat my older sister. Or me. And the worst thing was my mum could do nothing. She had no one to turn to because her family wouldn't talk to her because she was with a man no one liked. So she was stuck with him. One day, just after my 13th birthday, I'd had a headache and it woke me up. Mum had told me to go to bed about 6:30, so we'd be asleep when he came home. She tried to protect us the best she could. I was walking down the corridor and I could hear my mum screaming. And I was running and I was shouting, "Get off my mummy!" And I was running around in a panic trying to find her, and I went into the bathroom. And I saw something that I've never told anyone before. He had her bent over the bath and he was raping her. And she was screaming, but he didn't stop. I was just standing there. And he turned around and he went, "Go to bed." So I went to the kitchen and I got a saucepan. And my older brother came downstairs and he was crying. And he was saying, "I hate my daddy." So I went back into the bathroom and I threw the saucepan at him. And it hit his leg. And I ran. I was crying. I was so scared, but I kept running. But then he was coming after me and he had the saucepan in his hand and he started smacking me with it. And he was shouting, "Do you love your daddy?" And he kept saying it over and over again in my ear. "Do you love your daddy? Do you love your daddy?" And I screamed, "Yes." And he said, "Go to bed." I couldn't move. I was still screaming from the terrible pain in my legs where it hit me with the saucepan. He said it again. But I didn't move. I couldn't move. So he dragged me up the stairs. And my back was scraping against the carpet. It was burning, but I couldn't wait for him to get me upstairs. So he'd leave me alone. And he threw me on the bed. And I got my quilt and I hid. I missed a lot of school. I hardly had any friends at secondary school because I was hardly ever there. I didn't like talking to people because I knew they'd think I was lying if I told them the truth about my dad. People just don't want to hear it. In the summer of 2000, we moved in with my granddad. And I thought, finally, it was over. I still had nightmares that he was coming and stalking us. But he came to where we were staying. He trapped my mum in my granddad's kitchen. And he got a knife. And he stabbed my mum in the neck. I mean, it wasn't the first time that he'd used a knife, but it was the last. That was 2 years ago now. And there are all these images in my head, very detailed images. But unless I have to think about them, I don't. But what I don't understand is he was supposed to love and care about his family and my mum, but he didn't. He just hated us. Maybe it was our fault. I used to think maybe I disappointed him at school, or maybe I wasn't the daughter that he wanted. And I began to feel ugly, and that no one liked me. I sometimes think I hate my mum for staying with him and letting him do that to us. To be honest, I don't know why he done what he done, but I don't care anymore. He used everybody. He didn't care about them. He looked after himself. He even felt sorry for himself when my mum left him. He couldn't understand why my mum had left him. He thought he'd done nothing wrong. I hate my dad. I never want to see him again. If I had it my way, he'd be dead. I don't hate my mum. I love my mum. But I still think, why's she done that to us? She can't sleep without the lights on. She can't sleep with the duvet higher than her armpits, because she has to have her hands free so she can defend herself. And the very worst thing is this. If I go to stroke her hair or touch her with affection, she flinches. She pulls away from my touch because she automatically thinks that she's going to get hit. And that hurts more than anything. And I know I'm young, but I've got one thing to say. Women have got to do the right thing. They've got to get out of violent relationships before it's too late. I missed a lot of school looking after my mum. My whole family was affected by the fact that she stayed with him and put up with the violence. And as a child, you're helpless and you have to watch everything that goes on. Because children do hear everything and see everything that goes on in the house. even if they pretend they don't. It's really bad. They think about it all the time.